Welcome back to the Fitness League, helping busy humans build strong bodies, sharper minds, and better lives. Join us each week as we cut through the noise, challenge the norms, and empower you to train smarter and live stronger. Boy, do we have an episode for you today.
If you happen to see my Instagram post, you'll know what we're about to talk about.
Joelle's life-changing cold plunge.
It was
She set some records
for you guys.
She set some records, but I'd like to set some records straight because she did say some things.
Wait, hold on.
No. It's not.
Let's just back up for a minute. Before I posted this Instagram video, Josh said, "Let me see it and approve it first, because I don't know how you're gonna twist this."
That's not where I was going.
That's how little faith and trust you have in me.
There was a lot of smack talking this weekend.
I shit talked so much. I did a lot of shit talking. And then I had to put my money where my mouth was, is really kind of what happened.
What I was going to allude to was off camera. You continued to imply that you never said you would never do it. But I'm pretty sure every listener here can vouch for, and we can find 11 clips, which we will eventually make a blooper reel and show every single time you said, I will never cold plunge. I won't do it. It's not going to happen. I don't need it.
I don't need it. It's still something I won't do. It's still something I won't do regularly. But if I'm being challenged, I will prove a motherfucker wrong.
I'm going to go as far as to say that you were...
I didn't say I'd never try it.
No, you were invoking the challenge this weekend. You wanted to be challenged because you wanted to do it. You were saying all of the precursors to being challenged to do a cold plunge. You were egging on the egger-oners.
I could see the little sparkle in your eye because you knew a challenge was coming, and I could just see your excitement and feel your excitement. And I knew as soon as I looked at you when I came back outside from feeding Wes, when Brant was in there, I was like, this girl's getting in there today.
I did know that for the amount of shit I was talking, I was probably going to have to get in there and do it well. But I will say my intention, I did a lot of shit talking. I got in the tub because I wanted to prove that I could last longer than Brant, which was like 14 seconds. So it wasn't going to take very long. He did a redemption plunge that was 45 seconds, something around there. My goal was not like, let me beat everyone, let me go 5 minutes. I really just only cared about I just want to beat Brant's time because trolling my husband and vice versa is our love language. And so I got in there and I was like, this is not bad at all. Like that, for as much shit talking I did while I was in the tub about how easy it was, I genuinely was like, this is not bad at all. Like I am genuinely unfazed, unbothered, which is the other reason that I feel like it wouldn't even make sense for me to do it regularly because I didn't feel the challenge that I think other people feel from it. Maybe it was adrenaline. Maybe I knew I was challenging. Maybe it was just the hype. I don't know.
It was refreshing for sure. It was a very hot day. So for everyone wondering what temperature was at, I have the plunge set to 45 degrees right now. I am not doing it on a daily basis, and I wanted it to be something I could just hop in and not be totally dreading when I do utilize it. We're in a very stressful season of life, so it's no longer a daily tool for me. It's something I use when I need it. So it was up a little bit. That's certainly one component. I would say because you crushed that one, I would be very curious to see how you did it. Let's say 40, 39, 37. I keep it. The lowest I brought it is 37 in this plunge.
She could do it.
I think she could do it for sure. I wonder how she would feel when she jumped in.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there is a difference. That's one question you asked right away. Joelle was like, is there really that much of a difference between a 35, what is it? What was the lowest? 37 between what we had it at now? And even I personally can tell a massive difference between, it doesn't seem like it's a big difference, a few degrees, but it is a huge difference. So I'd be curious to see how you did there too. I know you could do it. I'm just wondering if you would feel
I'd be curious if it felt any different. The only thing that started to feel a little cold towards the end, I was like, oh, my hands are kind of cold.
Yeah.
But I remember, I thought I was going to put my feet in and be like, oh, this is brutal. I hate being cold. That's my original, why I wouldn't want a cold plunge. I don't like being cold. I genuinely didn't feel the coldness that I thought I would feel in there. And once I put my feet in and I was like, oh, actually this, like I was afraid. I didn't want to do what Brant did, which was like stick his toes in and then be like, shit, that's cold. And then like be really kind of slow of getting in. And so when I got my legs in, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel that bad. So I just full send sat down. I was like, oh, this really is like not, which is not as bad as I thought it was. But
Yeah, his entry was about as strategically horrible as you possibly could do. He stood in it for about a minute and got himself nice and cold and worked up and then slowly dropped himself in. So he was already in a spiral before he got shoulder deep, neck deep into the plunge. But
Yeah,
no,
feel
I
like
think
you
you
just
had
gotta go
adrenaline.
in
I
Yeah.
did this all the time and I did this all the time in college. Watch. Okay.
He did build it up.
He talked a big game.
You
I
had
also-
Blink 182 going for you, or Sum 41, and you had
No one else
adrenaline
had
going for you.
music playing. I did get
He
the
did.
music.
Brant got
No
some
one else had the
Metallica going.
music.
Brant had Metallica.
Oh yeah, that's true. He did for his
So
second
I
one.
would say the adrenaline got you through like the gasp period, and then once you get through 30 seconds, like you can stay in as long as you want at that point.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got your hype team around you, your spite fuel
My
cruising.
spite team.
Your spite team. There, you did well though. There was no panic. Right into the breath. Stayed calm,
She
and then
was
once you
stoic.
get through that,
You didn't even flinch.
Might be the most calm I've ever been in my whole life.
She didn't flinch. She wasn't shivering. Like sometimes in the winter, at least, like you'll literally like you could see her jaw shivering.
so the lowest this plunge has been is 37. But when we had the stock tank, we would just let it freeze.
Yeah,
I would
that
chisel it at
was-
5 o'clock in the
remember
morning,
the
and
ice.
that was
Yeah.
33 degrees with like ice circulating around me. So I would get out
That I would
literally
not.
trying
Yeah.
not to have hypothermia.
Yeah,
I think I would
but
not
she
enjoy
was
that.
she was calm. Like if you didn't know it was cold, you would think that you were just sitting in a hot tub, which was impressive.
It was. I won't take anything away from that whatsoever. It was definitely impressive. I will go again a little further. When you got out, you're doing cartwheels. I know you were hyped that you won, but don't
Yeah,
you tell me you
I
didn't
was just
earn
the
that
challenge
dopamine.
winner.
Don't you tell me you didn't earn that dopamine. You felt good after.
I did feel good after, but I'm not able to differentiate. Did I feel good after because I owned all of you? Or did I feel good after because of the cold plunge? Like how much of it was just like, I'm excited. I lasted 5 minutes. You all thought I couldn't. Brand's making fun of me because I cry when I stub my toe, but like I just did 10 times your cold plunge time. Like, so I did feel good after, but I don't know that that's a direct correlation.
I would argue that
There's
the
a
cold is the
correlation.
tool.
I
The
don't know
cold
about
is the tool, the
causation.
mechanism, right? The cold is the tool in my mind. Like whether or not
Okay,
you
but
believe in the benefits
remove-
of specific cold, you did something hard and you felt great afterwards, and you utilized the specific strategy to do so. I would say at the core of it, that is cold plunge. That's just the mechanism that you use. And then you can debate, is it the cold that does X, Y, and Z, and reduce inflammation, improve recovery, boost dopamine for an extended period? Like there's certain things I would say do certainly happen. The dopamine, the alertness afterwards, you've got some energy cruising through your body. Everything else, like cold specific, you can debate one way or the other. And I don't feel overly strongly about anything in that regard. But you did win a challenge and you earned the ability to feel that well. And I would say that
Thank
works
you.
a lot and it works well for some
I don't.
people.
What I would be curious about is without the challenge, without the hype, without the three of you, like me doing that on my own, which I will never do on my own. I will still stand by that. But me doing that on my own, without all of the hype and the challenge and whatever, would I still have gotten out and felt that same energy?
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
going in cold.
Is what I'm saying. Like versus
Like
the
if you
energy
woke
of
up
just
the
like
next
the
morning,
build up, right, and did it.
Yeah,
What I have
by
been
yourself.
friggin' doing cartwheels after by myself. Probably not.
Well, I know you mentioned right before we jumped on this, HRV was looking pretty good.
So my Aura ring I forgot to bring with me because I left it on the charger when we were at your house for the weekend. So I don't know what that night's HRV was. I would be very curious. My HRV was decent last night, on the higher side, which for me is still in the 60s. So I don't want to get too carried away. It was not like it was a 180, but I will say I was exhausted. Like I didn't get up to train this morning. I was like, I need the extra hour of sleep. And I never do that on a Monday. I was shot
That's probably
last
from the
night,
travel
shot this
day, though.
morning.
Because I'm the same.
And
way
that's what Josh
after
said too. Like,
driving.
we just had, Right. It's like travel, kids, crazy, away for the weekend, getting settled back in last night. So I don't know if me feeling super shot and exhausted was cold plunge related, because as we've talked about, it is a stressor. But I also didn't have my data from the last 3 days aura wise. So I don't have that night or the previous 2 days to compare to.
Fair. I will say, again, similar kind of pattern. That night's HRV was decent. Today's HRV came up quite a bit. I think I touched 70.
I didn't even check mine after I did it because that was my first cold plunge in probably almost a year, since last summer before I got pregnant.
Like last Monday's HRV was a 39, and then today was a 65, which is
That's
a
significant.
jump, but I don't know how related
I still
those
don't
are.
want to use my
Causation,
Whoop app.
correlation.
Hey guys, real quick. If you've been listening and thinking, I need to start doing something for my health, but I don't have time for a full program, that is literally why we built the SDE Method app. It's a fitness app made for real people with real lives. Busy parents, working professionals, anyone juggling 100 things. You can get a smart, effective workout in around 30 minutes, some even closer to 20 minutes, and log out knowing you made progress. You can finally take the guessing out of your workouts. We have workouts designed to be done at the gym or at home, and you get access to all of them when you sign up. As life phases change, you can pick a new one that aligns better with what you have going on right now. And one more thing, we are also qualified for HSA FSA reimbursement. So just hit the app link in the show notes, start where you are, we'll help with the rest. All right, let's get back to the show.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a funky UI through the whole thing. If you
The
could,
Whoop.
yeah, I don't love I love the data like we were talking about on that episode, so I won't go too crazy into it. You guys can listen to the last couple. I forget which one it's in. Probably the Q&A. A lot of good data, but just sporadic. It's chaotic the way that it's organized, which I'm sure that they'll improve over time.
Good chaotic or bad chaotic?
No,
Every time I hear
not,
chaotic now with branding, I think of Tatum and that like good chaos, bad chaos,
Like
good
intentional
evil,
chaos.
or what is it like?
there's no good chaos when it comes to data. That shit's got to be organized.
Yeah, when it's data, it should be.
Interestingly, mine did the same as yours. Like it was up a little bit Saturday night, which is when we did it on Saturday, right? And then last night was, so like Saturday night was
Higher.
59, last night was 67. For what it's worth, who knows?
So the 2
That
day
was
later.
the only common denominator.
That's interesting. Or it was just you guys getting your house back and us being in our own homes that made our HRVs
The
go back
Cabaneros
up.
leave.
Oh, the Cabaneros, they're gone. Our HRVs will go back up now. We also I mean, if we're really trying to compare, like when we're together, we all go to sleep a little later because we're just up like chit chatting. I
It
would
was
say
a
we
lot
don't
later this
go-
weekend. Usually it's a
Yeah.
little. This time it was a lot.
We were like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
Crazy.
just
Crazy.
party animals over here. Some of you listening are probably
To
like,
roast
that's my normal bedtime.
Reese's s'mores. I know. To
My
roast
kids go to bed
Reese's.
at 10.
I'm
Bless
still
you.
laughing at Alyssa being like, why'd she take her daughter's s'more? Reese's s'more. Like, no, not Reese, my child. Reese's, as in peanut butter
The
cup.
peanut butter cup. Speaking of which, if you have not ever had a s'mores or a s'more, did we ever figure out which is the
Yeah,
right
is
way
it
to
one
say it?
Singular
s'more?
and plural?
Is s'mores plural? We have a question. Is s'mores plural? Was it just one s'more?
Instead of the chocolate, Reese's peanut butter cup, I will never eat it a normal way again. Like that's the only way I will eat a s'more just now. S'more, whatever.
It's pretty good.
So good.
It was so funny that Kai was like, I saw you guys eating s'mores out there. Yep. Go
So
to bed.
Kai and
And
Sloan.
go back to bed.
Was that Sloan's first like sleepover with a kid besides Reese in the same room?
Yes, except once at Grandma and Grandpa's house, it was Reese, Sloan, and their cousin Maddie, who's Sloan's age, all in the same room. But still not like at a friend's house or something like that.
Yeah,
It's her first
Kai and
friend
Sloan
sleepover and
had
not
their
sister
first
cousin.
friend sleepover. They did great. I will say,
They
like
did.
it was.
Sloan led the charge with that. She was ready to go. And Kai, are you awake, Sloan? Hey, Sloan, you awake? Good night, Sloan. Good night, Sloan. I love you.
Love you, Sloan. But we obviously have the camera, the baby monitor in his room still, so we were like peeking on them. And Josh saw that Kai got out of bed, so he got up while we were making s'mores and like peeked out and saw us all roasting marshmallows. and was very upset
He
about
got
it.
immediate
Mother effers.
FOMO. Immediate FOMO from not being involved in the s'mores. They did great though.
They
My
did.
parents
I
were
was
like, "How are Sloan and Kai?" I'm like, "They're great. They love each other to death." And then they also have like sibling moments where they like, "He hit me, she touched me, he poked me, she hit me."
Yep.
They have those moments. And Cora and Reese, they just march to the beat of their own drum. They
like
Couple
they
of lone
couldn't care
wolves.
less about playing with
like
each
on a
other.
beach
Yep.
kind of just never crossed paths. They just kind of stayed in their lane and kind
Which
of
I think tracks for this age. I forgot what the
yeah.
age is where they actually play together. I think it's something called like side by side play or like independent side by side play where like they play near each other or like next to each other but not with each other. And that definitely tracked for like that 18 to 24 month age range, I think, for
But
both of
it's
them.
only those specific ages, like coupled. Like she'll play with older kids,
Yeah.
but she won't play with kids her same age.
Very
Yeah.
strange.
That is weird. Anyway.
They were good
And Wes,
though.
I was
say.
showing
Go ahead.
Sonia this morning pictures of Reese holding Wes, and she goes, "Oh my God, he's so big." He's pretty big.
Kid is a tank.
He's long, I think, too.
He's long and he's solid. Like his
Yeah.
back muscles are bodybuilder status.
He's ripped.
But
He's ripped.
he's a little bit of a clinger also, so we'll see.
You know, I was thinking about today though. Like he is a clinger, and you do have to keep him entertained, which I immediately drains my energy when you start playing circus.
Josh hates that.
I like Kai wore me thin from 6 to 9 months when he was a baby. Like that wears me out. But this kid, like if you do keep moving, he doesn't just scream for no reason. Like he's bored, but like it's not that tantrum that you can't solve and you're walking around doing all things and he's screaming. Like as soon as you engage him again, like he stops crying. So that
Minus
is
the stroller.
certainly a blessing.
It
Well,
was
you
hit
pick
or
him up
miss,
out of the
though.
stroller, yeah. That's
yeah,
what I mean.
as long as he's out of it.
This morning on our morning walk, he was content and playing and happy
Totally
for the
fine
whole
in
walk. And I'm like, I don't understand the pattern. I think it's just certain times he just is not about it. So
Yeah.
we do what we do. But I was even telling you, Joelle, like there are times that I'm still going for the walk, even if he's crying. Like he'll cry a little bit on the walk.
Yeah.
I'm getting the walk in, and that's just what you have to do. And I think as a message for first time parents, I think that was something that can be really hard because I think as a first time parent, you're like the second they start crying, you like go into panic mode and you try to make them stop and you do all the things. And like, yeah, he's not like having a complete meltdown and I'm walking for hours, but like I'm gonna
Right.
finish the walk. I have to get home somehow. So we're going to finish the walk and he's going to cry a little bit and it will all be fine. And I'm hoping that one day he just won't cry on the walks. But I just thought about myself as a first time parent. Like I would never do that. And that would almost like scare me into never bringing them for another walk again because you're in your head, you're like, oh, they cried on the last one. They're probably going to cry again and again and again. And then this morning he was fine. So just a message for anyone out there who's maybe in the thick of it with their first kid. Don't let one negative situation impact potential future ones, especially if it's something like that you're trying to do for yourself and include your baby or your kids in. And that goes for toddlers too. Like, how many times has Cora cried on a walk and we just kind of power through and do what we can to calm her down, and it is what it is, but they're human. They're not robots.
For the longest time when I was a first time mom with Sloan, I was just terrified to leave the house with her. Like I didn't want to bring her anywhere. I didn't want to just like go to Target, me and her. Like I was just, what if she cries? What if she gets hungry? What if this? What if that? And you're like, kids are going to be kids. Like kids are going to sometimes cry. They might sometimes have a meltdown and you have to not put your whole life on hold, especially something like a walk that's going to benefit probably both of you in the long run and be a health enhancing habit, to not do that because you're afraid your baby's going to cry. Like you're both going to get used to it and eventually they will stop.
For everyone a little bit confused about where this is all taking place, we did have our first in a long time family weekend up here at our place this time. All the kids, all the chaos out in nature. Although we don't have lizards. We got the frogs, no lizards.
So many
Joelle's
frogs.
a frog whisperer. Well, the last time we saw you guys was January, New Year's. We slept at your house. I was super pregnant and it was cold and we did the thing and it was great. but I can't believe it's been literally that long since we last saw you.
Because we were also on a monthly kick for a while. Like we were alternating pretty much every month for a few months of seeing each other. And then I think in January, we were like, we're probably not going to see you again because you're about to have a baby.
Yeah.
And we knew we weren't going to have you guys like come down here. And then it was still sick season. And we're like, we don't want to come to you and bring any like runny noses and RSV. And just, I mean, we had a knock on wood, pretty good sick wise winter other than the flu. But yeah, then it was just like, then he's a newborn. And we're like, we don't want to be up in your space when he's super little.
Yeah. But we're back.
Yeah. We're back, baby. So now you got to come for July and hang in the pool.
Yes.
We'll come for July, and then August will be Aruba. I'm going to put that in the mental bank.
Yes.
Manifest Aruba
Hopefully.
for August. Is that a good time to go to Aruba?
I don't know.
When I Googled it, it said there's no bad time. I don't know what hurricane season is, how they're affected by it, how significantly, but
Is
I
it
still
something
don't
we
think
would
I
want to
fully
stay
understand
for?
where Aruba is. Like,
I don't
think
think
I
I
could
really
point
know
to
either.
it.
Is it the kind of place that you would want to go to in the winter? Or like, is it colder there in the winter too? I don't know. Like Bermuda, like you don't really want to go to like Bermuda in the winter.
No, it's not
because
like
It's
that.
cold still-ish.
no, it's still very, it's, what is it, off of,
It's
I
right
thought it was
above,
off of South America.
It's right above Venezuela.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's
down there,
also
past Dominican.
If August doesn't work out, it's not the worst thing to do it while it's cold by us. You know what I mean? So that you have that like warm weather getaway trip versus we're leaving hot weather to go to more hot weather.
We're just going to need to do
our-
something. We haven't had a break since
Yeah.
Disney, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's something
Well, we
I
might do
really...
Hershey Park if you guys want to do Hershey Park with us.
When's Hershey?
We got to pick a date.
That sounds like a nightmare with a
Pennsylvania.
baby, to be honest.
How's that worse than Disney?
I don't think I'd do Disney at 4 months.
We're not going tomorrow. This would be like if we
Month or
didn't do
two. It could be 6 months. That might not be awful.
6 months
Maybe
was
it'll be
core at
better.
Disney.
True. We did do that.
I wonder what the
There's just
drive
no-
is for you guys.
Not as many baby rides at Hershey Park compared to a park made for babies.
I mean, it's a kids park. It's obviously not
Is
as big
it?
as Disney. Hershey?
A kids park? I thought it was like adults
Kids.
love going to Hershey.
No,
Well,
it's for
adults love going to
kids.
Disney too. What does that mean?
Yeah, also true.
Adults with kids or just adults? Because I put those in two different categories, and one of them is weirdos.
Yeah, we did it.
The
No, I think
largest
Hershey Park is a
amusement
kid.
park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that's like a-
I mean,
Doesn't
I
have
could
one of the
screen share
fastest
it.
roller coasters in the world?
I haven't been there since I'm a kid. But like we used to go probably every summer as a kid.
it's a theme park.
My parents
It's-
loved bringing us there.
I'm sure they have things for everybody, like every age, like little kid rides and like the
Amusement
bigger-
park, boardwalk, water park, Zoo America, Hershey characters, ice cream parlor, blah blah blah.
We definitely need a winter vacation though, because that's something we did not do this year. Because obviously we had Wes in February, end of February, and we have done Disney the last 2 or 3 years, and that's just kind of like it breaks up our end of winter
Breaks up the gray.
sadness. It's so miserable here at that time. And I have to say, like, I really did miss that this year, and I feel like it definitely just made winter drag on longer. We were early postpartum. It was just kind of like not as fun. Like, we need to commit to that yearly, even if it's a short trip.
This is just one week. We just have to get through Project B launch. That's been the biggest thing right now is we got to settle through this, grind through it. And honestly, everything we make is going back into this project, which is why we are just, for the most part, being hermit crabs. There is no revenue being put into the bank account at the moment because we're doing big, amazing
Everything's
things.
going into the business. Yep.
So anywho, family weekend. It was a nice reset, even though we didn't get out of our house. It was a nice reset to like just be with other humans and to put the phones down, put technology down. It's very refreshing. And I know there's a 3-day. They've done studies on like 3 days in nature, no Wi-Fi, no connection, whatever, and your body actually does start to reset its parasympathetic nervous system, as well as like your circadian rhythm improving. So good things start to happen mentally and emotionally, spiritually, if you're into that. After this 3-day unplug, and we had like maybe a solid 2.5 days. We extended it into the early week here. and it does feel great. I don't know. I was talking to Joelle about this before you came down. We jumped on, but I do notice that when I do pick up that phone or the computer for the first time, there is this extended pull. Like I have this rebound effect where if I was just going to check like my reminders for the today, I ended up scrolling for like 15 minutes and then you look up and it's like, whoa. And like that feeling I only get on TikTok when I'm trying to post something real quick and then you get sucked into one thing and you blink and it's been 15 minutes. But I do get that after this period. So we need some kind of safeguard. I don't know if you guys deal with that, but I need some kind of safeguard to prevent that when we do this because it feels good.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely off social at your house because I posted some stories here and there, but the last month or so, I've been taking Saturdays completely off social. And I can't tell you how often I habitually just go open Instagram. And then when I'm in it, I'm like, oh, wait, you're not supposed to be in here. Close it. I probably open it 50 times a day, forgetting, wait, you're off social today. And then Sunday, there is absolutely this subconscious, like scroll, like subconscious need to catch up. Like, oh, I haven't been on it. And I'm not actively saying to myself, like, I have not been on it. So now I need to scroll extra today. But like your brain just does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last, maybe not this past Friday, but before that, I was taking Fridays off because Fridays are just lower engagement anyway. And I'm like, I could just use the break. We have meetings all morning. I'm not on it as much anyway. And it definitely does help from a creativity standpoint when I do commit to it. Like then I'm feeling refreshed and I get more ideas and I don't know. I do definitely notice a difference in that aspect. But at the same time, people will ask like, how do you handle being on social media all the time? And like questions like that, maybe not that exact way. And I kind of have to remind people too, like this is a big part of our job. This is how we have built our business. This is how we get clients. So that's like me asking you, why are you working so much when you have like, it's just this is our
Why
work.
do you show, yeah, why do you work?
You know, like we don't have the privilege at this point to be like, okay, I'm not going to show up on social media for a month. Like, yeah, I'd love to do that, but this is how we feed our families and everybody. So I would love to get to a point where it's not so reliant on us as individuals and the business can kind of not run itself, but we're in a place where it is quote unquote running itself in other ways. But at the same time, I do enjoy, like, I love creating content. I love pushing stuff out there. And I think it's a matter of reminding myself I don't have to consume really anybody's content if I don't want to. And I go through periods where I'll unfollow a crap ton of people unless like I know you in real life or like we're somebody who like we talk on the regular.
Hey guys, real quick. If you've been listening and thinking, I need to start doing something for my health, but I don't have time for a full program, that is literally why we built the SDE Method app. It's a fitness app made for real people with real lives. Busy parents, working professionals, anyone juggling 100 things. You can get a smart, effective workout in around 30 minutes, some even closer to 20 minutes, and log out knowing you made progress. You can finally take the guessing out of your workouts. We have workouts designed to be done at the gym or at home, and you get access to all of them when you sign up. As life phases change, you can pick a new one that aligns better with what you have going on right now. And one more thing, we are also qualified for HSA FSA reimbursement. So just hit the app link in the show notes, start where you are, we'll help with the rest. All right, let's get back to the show.
Everybody else, like I just don't care. Like I don't need to see your stuff. And that's not personal. It's just me protecting my peace and my boundaries and feeling like I don't need to catch up on everybody's life. And I don't think as humans we're meant to see hundreds of people's lives every day. Like I don't think that's a natural thing. So let this conversation kind of encourage you guys to clean up your feeds too. Make sure you're taking in, things that are positively contributing to the season of life that you're in. And I know there's always going to be aspects of social that you see things that you don't necessarily subscribe to or want to see just with how the algorithms are these days. But there is a lot you can do to kind of protect your own energy and protect your own peace with it too.
That was also a big reason, like we all needed this weekend. Like we, outside of family, we personally don't see anybody besides the neighbors. So I know commonly some people will use like social as this community. And it is in a sense, and it can be beautiful in that way if you're using it the right way. But at the same time, if you don't have that in-person community, like it just hits different. You're scratching an itch that really isn't being scratched, and you continue to scroll and swipe and try to connect with some of that, whether it's just for the information or the people, like you enjoy the people that you're following, which again is great if you're using it the right way. But taking that break, coming up for air, however short that period of time is, a vacation, a day, a little getaway, a weekend, a long weekend, whatever it is, just being around people who, you all elevate each other. It goes such a long way, and it does help tremendously. That's why you're not even pulled to pick up the phone while that's all happening. And then you are when it's back to the typical grind. It's this escape versus like, okay, this feels good. We're decompressing. We're around real people. That's why it's such a big aspect. I know they talk about that again in the quote unquote blue zones, community being one of those foundational pillars, but it's real and you feel it.
I think also too, though, in the past, I would kind of get caught up in that, in the sense that I would try to just say yes to every possible play date and just things that were offered. And I also don't love how that feels either. Like, it was more so me trying to create a community, but the community wasn't, it just didn't feel organic, I guess, or just like, I don't know, it just authentic. And it just almost was like I was saying yes to too many things, like whether it was meeting Kai's preschool friends at the park or just whatever. I think you do, like, we're also in the stage of having small circles, and I don't think that's a bad thing either. But I do think we need to be better about being with those small circles offline more, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
And even in the online space, like obviously the in-person stuff, I'd love to do meetups with our people, with our team. Like that's still on the calendar. It's on the agenda. I would love to, once Project B is off the ground, I want like community meetups in that regard and just bringing everyone together with this space that we're creating. But even in the online space, and again, capitalizing on what a blessing it can be, not necessarily mentorships, because we've played that game a little bit, but just like-minded people, and maybe in some different industries. I think Joelle, you're in one, but just like a group of close-knit friends slash entrepreneurs who are doing their thing and being able to share some insights without totally competing and supporting each other. There's different ways to leverage this space.
I think it's friendship and community is so interesting, I think, as you age. For me, I feel like I meet someone and I know within 5 minutes if like you're my kind of person or not. And if you're someone that I would feel like it'd be a worthwhile investment. Like investments, I don't know that that's the best word
it's
for
an
it, but
investment
like
of your time.
it is like I am investing my time and energy into you and or nurturing a friendship. And I feel like I know, like when you're younger, you just kind of like want to be friends with everyone, or like you want everyone to like you. And I'm just in a stage where I'm like, I don't care if you don't like me. I don't care if you're not my person. I'm not here to impress you or try to get you to like me to be my friend. Like if we meet at the coffee shop and we start chit chatting, like we take down each other's numbers, like cool, great. If anything comes from that, awesome. If not, like I'm good. I have a small circle, and Brant and I would say Brant's circle's a little bit bigger than mine because he leaves the house, but we have a relatively small circle, and like we're fine with that. I feel like right now our whole life is business and babies, and that might sound sad to some people, but like that's what we have the most time and energy for at this point. Not to say like if we're available and friends who we love and adore ask us to hang out, like if we're available and we have, we can do that, then obviously we'll say yes. I don't think anyone's trying to intentionally shut people out. It's just like we have to really prioritize or reprioritize what's important to us right now.
I think that's the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur and a mom specifically, because yes, we work from home and we're kind of acting as a stay-at-home mom, at least I am right now, for like most of my day. But at the same time, I can't just drop everything and go do a play date, because sometimes I am working when I'm with the kids, or like there are like, well, I'm on this podcast right now. Like it's not fully work from home mom. It's not fully stay at home mom. It's like this weird in between.
Hybrid mom.
So it's like, yeah. And it's like that can kind of be messy and confusing at times too, especially when you are trying to make new friends. I know that's something I struggled with a lot, is like they would not have work so they could go do whatever. And it's like I'm navigating nap times, navigating business things, and trying to, do fun things with the kids. So it's like this small, tiny window of when can I go get this done? Or even if like somebody wanted to go for a run with me and meet up for a run, it's like I'm typically deciding that last second. Okay, I have 30 minutes to go run right now. I am going to go. It's not like this calculated thing I can plan out. And I'm sure one day I'll get to that point when the kids are a little bit bigger and things just are different. We're in a different season of life. But I even look at like one of my best friends who unfortunately doesn't live close by, Sarah. She listens to the podcast. So hi, Sarah. She has this great group of like girlfriends and moms in her town in Florida, and I envy that so much at times. So I'm like, oh, I wish I had that. Like they go and they watch the sunrise together, and they went on a few little day trips, and I'm like, that sounds like so much fun, and I wish I had that, but that's just not my season right now, and that's okay. And maybe one day, we will have that, and maybe one day Joelle will live closer together, and we can go do things. And it's just different seasons of life, and I think that's important to honor. And also, there's some things that kind of just, something's got to give at some point.
This is what I'm calling a season of no. And I've actually had to have this conversation with my parents, like, because it's been more so with the kids. Like, if we can go out and do certain things, we will, obviously. But like big day trips, my dad's big on the day trips right now. He wants to create traditions with Kai, which is awesome. And I appreciate it. And I keep telling him, like, keep asking. But I don't want to discourage you. So I'm going to tell you right now, like, this is a season of no. And the reason for that is, like, Kai is what I come up for air for. Love all my kids. Kai is old enough now where, like, we can go do things and hang out and have a vibe. And, like, it's my mental health, like, balance. So if I can split out with him, I will.
Cora doesn't balance your mental health right now.
She is my beautiful little baby. She is some work. Kai, like, I can have a conversation with Kai and we're good. Like, hey, we're not going to do that, buddy. We're not having a tantrum. Like, Kai, he's my release right now. And so they want to go do these things. And every time they ask, hey, can we take the kids or can we take Kai to go do ba-da-da-da? It's usually like this big day trip. And if I am not up for that, like physically, mentally, emotionally, just drained from the week, it's a no. And I'm like, well, you can come hang out over here. I can drop him off over there for a couple hours, but I'm not losing a day. We're so in the weeds during the week. I'm so in the weeds during the week that I'm physically here, but I'm not mentally with my kids for a long enough period of time. So I'm like, I'm not sacrificing an entire day. It's not happening right now. So if I'm not going with him, he's not going. And that's been really hard for them. We've had multiple conversations to kind of just, settle the dust a little bit. And like, again, this isn't spite
it's
that
not
like
a personal
it's not
thing.
a personal thing. And obviously I love that you want to go do these things with him, but I need him right now. And this is the hardest season of my life. And they understand that.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily get easier, but how I've kind of evolved a little bit as a human to remove a lot of the reactivity that I've struggled with my entire life is just communication. And it's keeping that line of communication open and continually talking about it. And if something's bottling up, like, it doesn't get bottled up because it's going to end really, really ugly. So it's immediately, this is what's going on. This is what I'm feeling. Here's the conversation we need to have. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
And again, it sucks. And some of you might be like, it's a break. Go let him go for the day. Like, do your thing. But you literally don't understand where we're at right now. It's a mental tipping point on a daily basis. If you are not balanced and taking care of yourself, things get ugly in a heartbeat. So that's just a call that I've had to make. Like, I need the kid right now, and we will go do all the fun things. And it's not like he's neglected in any way, shape, or form. We go do a lot of fun stuff. But if there's some big event that we're not both going to enjoy, like, we'll find something else to go do right now.
Yeah, we've had something similar. Like, my parents will often want to like take Sloan for a night, and you're like, oh, could we have her Saturday night or something? And sometimes we do say yes, but there are other times where we're like, no, and more so Brant, because Brant has such a limited time with them on the weekdays. And even like this week, he's traveling part of the week for work. And I know if my parents were to ask this weekend, like, oh, can we have Sloan for a night? Brant would be like, I just want her home this weekend. Like, I haven't gotten to see her. I'm not going to see her Monday, Tuesday, or whatever it is. So we have definitely had that as well, more specifically in this season, but just like, he's been traveling more for work. Our work has been insane as well. And we have those moments of like, we just kind of like, yeah, it would be a break technically, but also like, I want to see my kids and like, I want
Isn't
to
it
see my
funny?
kids to like all be together for family time, even though the weekends can be so chaotic and so exhausting. You're like, I still want to spend that with my family though, because that Saturday, Sunday is the only time that we all have together as a family where we're all home and like we can all sit down and eat a meal together and so on.
Yeah, it's funny because you want that break so much at times throughout the week, and then you get it, and somebody takes your kids, and you're like, oh, you're just looking at pictures of them the whole time. I miss them. You can't wait for them to come home. It's like a double-edged sword, but I do think breaks like that are important, and I'm sure at some point we'll try to get out and go to dinner, maybe. But at the same time, like sometimes it's just easier to be in the routine. Like for us, like Wes is still very much needing me at night and needing a specific routine. And I don't necessarily want to give that up yet. And I think, Joelle, we've talked about this before too. Like you just, I don't know, you want the break, but at the same time, it's like, it's just easier and better for everybody if we stick with this consistency, at least right now when they are such high needs for mom and for dad.
Yep.
Feels.
Yeah. Feels.
Well, guys, this was more of a catch-up episode. Let the veil down. Get to know us a little bit. We will be back with our Q&A in the next episode and more helpful tips, tricks, protocols, science-y, applicable things in the next episodes. This is a nice little decompression. Wanted to introduce you to our personal life a little bit. Anything else you guys wanted to add? Any fun little takeaways? Besides, obviously, do your cold plunges.
I was going to say, you still won't catch me cold plunging on the reg, but I won't turn down a challenge. That's it.
Where can they find you?
I'm at Alessandra Skutnik.
At Joelle Samantha.
At Josh Skutnik.
Everything else you need is linked in the show notes.